Hey everybody, how you going? And welcome back to the Enfield Guy. My name is Jimmy Swan, and today we've got a really special clip for you. This is a video I did back in 2018 with Stories of Bike, and it was for a series called The Roads We Ride, and this is done in conjunction with Transport New South Wales, which is the governing body for I guess motor transport and registrations, all that kind of stuff here in New South Wales in Australia on the East Coast. It is kind of like a rider safety video, and what it sort of set out to do was pick a sort of a unique road or a style of riding that you do. It was also looking at unique bikes and maybe a character or a person who has a connection with their bike and this journey. So for me it was about commuting. So I live on the northern beaches in Sydney, as a lot of you know, and my journey to work at the time was going from sort of around the Manly area into the CBD. Not a particularly long journey, around sort of 16 kilometres. It's more about sort of how to focus on that ride to work, how to sort of be aware of everything that's around you. You guys know how to ride. I don't have to explain this to you, but this video was sort of calling a few of those things out and trying to build rider awareness and also driver awareness, because this was at a time when lane filtering was just coming into New South Wales. It just became legal, so we were trying to sort of build the awareness there of that. This was filmed with Cam Elkins from Stories of Bike, as I mentioned just before. He's done some incredible stuff, and it was an absolute honour to be able to work with him and his crew. This was the first time I worked with them, and I have done again, and hopefully I will again at some stage soon. It was a 5-day shoot that was coming into sort of summer in it might have been 2017 actually, at the end of that. I can't quite remember, I'll look it up. Yeah, 5-day shoot that basically followed my journey from Manly into the city. There were some really cool, and you'll see them in this video, epic drone shots that were done with a cinematic drone, not just a sort of DJI thing you can pick up from the store, but like a proper humongous thing with a proper big camera on it. So the things that go into these shoots, like in terms of permits, safety cars and things like that, to be able to block out enough space going over the bridge and pulling that all together is a pretty big task. And for me to be involved in that, I'm not a by any means an actor, as you can see me fumbling through this video, or a professional rider. So you're kind of learning a lot on the shoot, and it's awesome. It's so much fun. I absolutely loved having the opportunity, and that kind of was my introduction to try and, for me, want to become a bit of a storyteller and share my experiences and do exactly what I'm doing now. So massive shout out to Cam. He's a huge inspiration to me and such a lovely guy, not just to work with, but in general, such a, someone I consider a good mate. He's a top dude. But getting back to the ride, so this is on my 2010 Bullet. It's been modified, and a lot of you guys have seen this one. It's got the Namaste number plate on it. This has been modified into, it's something between a scrambler and a tracker. I don't really know. I just sort of keep doing little tweaks on my bikes until they sort of become my own. And yeah, I really still love this bike. It's one that I'm going to hang on to, not get rid of. Hopefully the passion comes through in my connection with Royal Enfield and this bike. But look, without further ado, I'm rambling on here. Hope you enjoy the video. It is so beautifully shot, and I think it's a cool little story. Check out Stories of Bike. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can see all of Cam's videos. They're just absolutely stunning. Such a good storyteller, and I hope you like this. If you haven't subscribed, please, I'd love it if you could, and give it a like as well. Thanks guys. I'd be riding my bike to work about 3 days a week, and that's primarily after doing a school drop-off. And commute riding is completely different from a leisure ride on the weekend. It requires a set of different skills, I think. You're dealing with the other traffic and people around you who you can't anticipate what they're going to be doing. So you need to be extra vigilant on all of your braking, your lane choice to where you want to go. But commuting is a way of changing focus. It allows me to not think about work
on the way to work and focus on what's happening around me on the road. My current bike, which is a 2010 Royal Enfield G5, you know, it's a pretty free-spirited bike. It's nothing that's going to take on the world and show off as far as speed or manoeuvrability or anything. It's just about sort of pure motorcycling. It's reliable, it's pretty to look at, and it's very, very easy to ride. It's very nimble through traffic. Yeah, I just love it. The main reasons I ride into work, so being blessed by Sydney's coastline and the northern beaches, it's pretty hard to not want to have a look at that on your commute and take that little bit extra time. Crossing over the Spit Bridge, coming up towards Neutral Bay and then heading towards North Sydney and the city. It's different every single day. The Harbour Bridge as well goes without saying, that's just an absolute icon, and you're thinking this is my last point before I get to work where I can really just soak up the ride. And you're sort of climbing towards the centre of the bridge, taking that last bit of fresh ocean breeze before you're hitting the concrete of the city. You never get tired of it. It's just such a beautiful bridge. So the key things I look out for on a ride to work is probably trying to, you know, be spatially aware when I'm heading through traffic. It's a mirror check, it's a head check, however many times you have to do it to make certain that there's nothing that's coming into your lane or anyone stopping in front of you. I try to ensure that, although I'm looking out for cars around me, that cars are aware that I'm next to them also. To do that, if unfortunately I'm sitting in someone's blind spot, I might just creep up a little bit to make sure that they are aware that there's someone in the lane next to them. And I've recently purchased a white helmet, which usually I've always had black, but from observing riders on the road and seeing how much they stand out, how much more visibility drivers will have if you've got something that's just that little bit more visible. So at the end of a work day, I most look forward to getting home to seeing my family. In order to do that, the commute is not a chore at all. I'm lucky enough to be on the northern beaches, which is just blessed with, you know, perfect coastline, and I do like to throw in a sneak extra 20-minute ride if I can. So that extra time I have on the bike on the journey home, again, is time for me to change focus and forget about work or any issues that we've had throughout the day. It really allows me time to reset. And I can get home and just leave any work problems behind and be a good dad.